Well, hey kids, Rio here. Welcome back to the channel. Today is Wednesday. So today, of course, is the next in my series of film reviews. Today, we are going to be talking about a new film called Lisa Frankenstein.
Really hope this goth phase ends soon.
It's not a phase, Mom! Now, I'm sure a lot of you have probably already seen this movie. Probably saw it a long time ago. It hasn't been out that long, but I've been waiting to see it. And I finally got a chance to see it. So we're going to talk about this thing. Short version, I love this thing. This was so much fun. But let's break it down.
Lisa! Does he have more of a basketball bod or a football bod?
He doesn't play sports. My Tim is great. I talked to him. I wish I was with you. That's really weird, Lisa.
So our story follows Lisa, who's played by Katherine Newton. You would know her. She was in Detective Pikachu. So, yay for me. She's also in the Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania. She appeared in that. She plays our main character. And our character is kind of going through the misery of her high school life. I should note that this film is set in the late 80s. They specifically give you the year. It is 1989. I remember 1989. Now, I tend to get kind of pissy when I see people set things in a time period that I'm familiar with, right? Not everybody in the 80s, we didn't go to high school dressed like Joan Collins from Dynasty, okay? That was special occasion wear. We didn't actually dress that way. We did the big hair, though. Sorry about the ozone layer.
That's so cute.
So one of the cruxes of our story here is that our girl Lisa isn't doing so well in the real world, okay? She's not particularly popular. She's not particularly active, like in school stuff. She's not particularly happy at home. But she has somehow or another fallen in love with a tombstone. There's an abandoned cemetery. This is important to the story. And she kind of falls in love with this headstone. It's a sculpture of a young man who probably passed away 300 years earlier. And she's just obsessed with that. Okay, and so this is kind of where we set the stage for what's about to happen in the rest of the film. So, of course, as you already know from the trailer, guess what? Her boyfriend comes home. Yeah, that doesn't go as well as you think. But that's where we go for the rest of this, right? Is her trying to navigate this, and ergo becoming what we see. So it's a whole evolution for her character, which is nice. And also an evolution for our... I hesitate to say the monster, right? I hesitate to say the monster because, yes, it's the Frankenstein story, but it's not... Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. According to the credits, they refer to this character as the Creature. So we're going to go with that. The Creature is actually played by Cole Sprouse. Now, some of you might know that name. I actually found this kind of fascinating when I looked him up. So, he actually is a twin. And he and his twin brother, I believe his brother's name is Dylan, have been acting since they were 6 months old. Yeah, actually appearing way back in the day on Grace Under Fire as the baby in Grace Under Fire, and then over the years coming through that, including The Sweet Life on Deck, which I've never watched that show, so I wouldn't have known. Also appeared in Hannah Montana, and was in Anna Sadler's Big Daddy. So this kid's been acting, literally, since he was big. Kind of cool, right? Also, apropos of nothing, if you watched Riverdale, he was Jughead. He was Jughead Jones in Riverdale, which is what I would know him from. So he's the Creature. Now, the Creature is just beautifully done. Being the Frankenstein story, the Creature doesn't talk for most of the film. Remember, it takes, if you're familiar with the original Frankenstein story, that's to say the Universal film version, it takes a while before Karloff gets words out. Well, that's kind of what happens here. So a lot of the acting is facial expression, body expression, and that is so hard to do. Not to mention the fact he's got to emote through the makeup. So let's talk about the makeup then. Let's talk about that. So our special effects designer is William Spataro. And I recognized that name, and I didn't know what from, so when I looked him up, yeah, The Walking Dead, The World Beyond, he made zombies for that. He also worked on the movie Renfield. If you've seen Renfield, it's a great movie. So actually, there actually is another name I do have to mention in the special effects. The other name I have to mention is Mart Alevi. Worked on Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett. He's with a group called Legacy Effects, and they are creature builders. They are specifically creature builders. Just look up their website, Legacy Effects. And yeah, you'll be like, oh, I saw that. Oh, that was them. That was me on their website. So, the shout out, so much talent, that was done here in the visual effects. Just,
You hear that?
I'm sure it's the girl next door. She's very odd.
Now here's where I'm going to get to the fun part. Are you ready? Because it's Girls Club time! Girls Club time! Girls Club time! This makes me happy. I am always stoked to see when you have like a really predominantly female crew working on a film. That always makes me so happy. Okay? So listen to me. You're going to love this. Alright. First of all, we're going to talk about our director of photography. Our director of photography is, I hope I pronounced her name right, because I'm not really sure how. It's a Paula Montebaro. You know who she is? Fargo. That one. Thank you. She also has 2 Primetime Emmys. Let's talk about our score. Our score was done by Isabella Summers, who, among other things, actually did the score for Snow White and the Huntsman. Right? Yeah. Okay. And our writer is Diablo Cody, Jennifer's Body, Juno. Yeah, you know who that is, too. And the film was directed by Zelda Williams. Yes, that Williams, the daughter of the late, great, and most extraordinary Robin Williams. This is her directorial film debut for feature film. Now, she has directed like some music videos and stuff like that. She has done other work, but this is her first feature-length film as a director. You did good, Zelda. You did good. The movie is great. If I have any note whatsoever, I think it would probably be that some of the 80s references get a little heavy. But there's a lot of great Easter eggs in the trivia too. Like, if you sit and just watch this movie, if you know, you get certain jokes. There's certain things that they drop in there, and you're like, oh, yeah, okay. Right? They're subtle jokes. Like, if you were there, if you know, you know. So if you are of a certain age, like me, yeah, just, pay attention to some of the dialogue is really random. And I think that was done on purpose. Just to kind of be like, hey, wait, did they just say what, did they just, yeah, there's a lot of that. So just keep that in mind.
Your hand? I can't believe you're here.
Now, we talk about the score by Isabella Summers, the original score that she has in there. But we're also going to take a moment and talk about the needle drops. My elder goth ass is pleased. As our girl goes through her transformation, becoming the great queen of the night that we all wished we could be in high school, there are some brilliant needle drops, some soundtrack choices that were made. Honestly, I'm not so sure about Diablo Cody. I know Zelda would not have been old enough to remember what was going on, like, musically, artistically in 1989. I think she might have only been, like, what, 5 or 6 or something. I think she was pretty young then. But she captured it. The music choices, whoever the music coordinator was, I actually did not look that up. But whoever the music coordinator was, who established the soundtrack and chose these needle drops, great choices. Perfect choices.
Do you like music? I have the cure. Oh, not that kind of cure. They can't make you better. I mean, they can, but, like, emotionally.
So yeah, in the end, absolutely. If you haven't gotten a chance to see it yet, this thing is really good. I mean, honestly, for a directorial debut for Zelda Williams, for a feature, for her first time doing this, I don't know what it looked like behind the scenes for her, right? I don't know what it was like on set. But she is surrounded by super talented people, that I'm sure, you know, helped her over the bad parts, gave her advice, you know, and treated her with the respect she deserved as a director. That's hard for a female director to get any kind of friggin' respect. A lot of time from your actors, most of the time from the industry itself. So good for you, Zelda. Your dad be proud of you, girl. Your dad be proud of you. So rating system. Honestly, I'm just gonna I'm gonna sit on my 4s. I think it's funny. It's good. It's a lot more intelligent than you'd think. There's a lot going on, and it's like a love song to an era that so few of us remember anymore, and it actually does it accurately. It's definitely it's the Frankenstein story. It doesn't really diverge a whole lot. It's kind of because remember, if you've actually read the book by Mary Shelley, if you've actually read the book, the story of the Frankenstein's monster and the story of the bride are in the same book. So just keep that in mind. All right, kids, I guess that's it for me for this week. There's a little button over here somewhere where you can subscribe. You'll get notifications of when my new stuff goes up. You'll get to see, you know, whatever I do, my new film reviews, whatever the dumb crap I decide, because you never friggin' know. All right, kids, so peace out, and I will see you next time.